Hey guys, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez. I'm coming at you with a Pokemon sales data video. There's actually not a lot to go over. There is a little bit, so I'll just give you my thoughts on each one, or each set after we go over them. Base set, we had a Charizard, first edition BGS 9. How to get the BGS 9 grade? It was 9 for the corners and the surface, 9.5 for the centering, and an 8.5 for the edges. This sold for $48,150. Chavez, didn't you just buy a BGS 9 for $60,000 like 2 days ago? Yes, I did. That one, all of the subgrades were a 9, except for, well, 2 of them were a 9, 2 of them were a 9.5, so not one was under a 9. This one, you did have 2 of them that were 9.5. You had one that was 9 and was an 8.5. So technically this one is only a half a grade on one of the subgrades below what the other one was, but it is just something that I just don't like personally. But the person that cost me to go to $60,000 on that one actually bought this one. I know the guy told me, yeah, I bought it. It's like, good for you. Got a nice discount. Is that little 0.5 of a subgrade worth it for me to buy the extra $12,000? Well, it was definitely a good deal for him. Half a grade less, and I get to. It's the same grade as a 9. It's just one of the subgrades is an 8.5. And with that, he gets it for $12,000 cheaper. That is a great buy for him. Fantastic buy. Moving on past that, we have a Blastoise First Edition PSA 8 sold for $9,100. Charizard First Edition PSA 6 sold for $12,100. A Shadowless Charizard PSA 7 sold for $3,906. We have a Unlimited Mewtwo PSA 10 sold for $2,400. Charizard First Edition PSA 7 sold for $22,250. We have a Porygon First Edition PSA 9 sold for $204. Charizard First Edition PSA 2 sold for $6,000. Then we have a Charizard First Edition PSA 7 sold for $21,000. So we have a couple of 7s above that 20,000 mark. And a Charizard First Edition BGS 9.5. Now, all of the subgrades were 9.5 except for the edges. Now, this one, this was only another half a grade up. And when I say half a grade, it's not... Yes, it was a 9.5, mine was a 9. But out of all 4 subgrades, 3 were a 9.5, 1 was a 9. Or I had 2 as a 9.5, 2 as a 9. So it was technically only out of 40, it got... Give me a sec here. 37.5. And out of mine was a 37. So I had a 37. This is a 37.5. The one below me was 36.5 as a 9. And so this is only, 0.5 above where I was. And the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I only did top 6 bids. And they're all above 120,000. 120.3, 0.7, 121, 125, 126, $126,100. Now, if someone's saying, well, is it, Chavez, you just, it's the same, you have the same grade as the other BGS 9, and he spent $12,000 less than you. Correct. But I had one subgrade that was 0.5 higher. And this 9.5, yes, it's a 9.5, so the whole thing is actually a subgrade, but the same principle applies. Only one of the subgrades is half a point higher, and it doubled mine. Either way, I don't care what I'll tell you guys the same thing. What I tell people that I buy stocks I tell people what my mindset is when I buy stocks. When I recommend stocks, when I recommend things, it's like, listen, I do not care what these stocks do from day to day. Like, I bought a stock yesterday called U at like 105. Today it tanked down to like 96. Lost like 12%. Tesla, same thing. I bought at like 413 yesterday, down to like 385 today. I do not care. I bought more today. I do not care what things do. Same thing with this. We can have a Charizard for the same subgrades as mine sell for $30,000 tomorrow. One, I'll try to buy it because that's so undervalued. But if it's something where someone lists it and they buy it, like I do not care what it does in the short term. I didn't buy it so I could do a short term flip. I bought it because I know where this is going in the long term. Why did I struggle so hard to try to get a second trophy Kangaskhan? Because I know where this is going in the long term. I 100% know that, and again, not every Pokemon card is going to do this, but a trophy Kangaskhan and a first edition Charizard, there's so much demand. I mean, there's not as much demand for a trophy Kangaskhan because it's not as well known yet, or it'll never be as well known as Charizard, but it's not as coveted yet, and it's just going to be, Charizard is just one of the most popular cards ever. And then we had a Charizard First Edition PSA 6, sell for $8,500. And then we have from base set 2, we have a Raw Charizard. I would have given it like a 3, sold for $305. Moving on to Gym Challenge. Gym Challenge, we have a bunch of Blaine's Charizards here. Blaine's Charizard First Edition PSA 8, sold for $2,100. Blaine's Charizard First Edition PSA 9, sold at auction for $4,001. Then we had a Blaine's Charmander First Edition PSA 10, sold for $311. Another Blaine's Charizard First Edition. It was raw. I would have given it an 8. Again, I'm a little bit harsh grade, but I would have given it an 8. Sold for $1,525. Then we had a Rockets Mewtwo First Edition PSA 10. Sold for, well, it was a $2,000 or best offer. I don't actually know what it sold for. Then we had a Giovanni's Pinsir First Edition PSA 10. Sold for $95. I think that's undervalued because that's a rare card. Fossil. Here we go. So Gym Challenge. The Mewtwo's going because of that historic card. It's the second Mewtwo, but again, it's historic because it was the first Pokemon card with 3 attacks, and the holo picture had to be smaller. So it's something that, again, I think there's a lot of history to that card. It's Rocket's Mewtwo, so it follows the story, or it might be Blaine's. Should really be Blaine's Mewtwo, but again, it is Rocket's, and that's something that I just thought was really cool. Moving on past that, in the Fossil set, Hitmonlee First Edition PSA 9. There's 2 of them. One sold for $325, one sold for $315. Articuno. All right, these are all First Edition BGS 9. Articuno, $585. Moltres, $510. Vaporeon, $663. Come on, you couldn't bid an extra $3? Come on, guys. Jolteon, $635. Zapdos, $515. Gengar First Edition PSA 9. Sold for $607, and a Haunter First Edition PSA 9 sold for $360. So the Fossil's got a lot of good stuff. It's got the, why is Vaporeon and Jolteon in the Fossil? Sorry guys. I'm so sorry about that. Okay, so we'll finish Fossil. I'll talk about Vaporeon and Jolteon in a second. For Fossil, you have the Trinity there. You got the Articuno, the Moltres, and the Zapdos, the 3 legendary birds. It's gonna have and Hitmonlee, I think, is great. Like, the only reason it's not a crazy amount like Hitmonchan was because, well, Hitmonchan was very playable, but they were both featured in the same episode at first, where it's Hitmonchan, like just the puncher, the boxer, and then Hitmonlee, the kicking fiend, and Hitmonchan was winning that fight, before Team Rocket intervened, and, Hitmonchan would have been the winner had they not done what they did. But, so you can make the argument that, Hitmonchan was the winner. So no, it was because it was base set, and Hitmonlee just didn't make base set for whatever reason. They just had to put him in Fossil. This is something that, I think is a little undervalued at $325 right now. I think same thing with Haunter. I guess moving on with the 2 that I don't know why I put them in the Fossil set, Jolteon and Vaporeon. Any evolution is going to be huge. That's just what happens. And there's the first appearance of them, Jolteon, Flareon, Vaporeon. And this is probably even still undervalued. These should be, especially the Vaporeon should be a $1,000 card, because the 10 just got like $14,000. So yeah, this is... but again, it's the BGS 9. I didn't look at the subgrades. Vaporeon should be a $1,000 card minimum, in my opinion, because the 10 goes for so high. So the 10's not really available. Oh, sorry, Dashi. All right, guys, I love you. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. What am I going to take away from this video? That I do not care what happens to the cards' prices in the short term. In the long term, I know where they're going. And it's part of the reason why I buy. Love you guys. Bye.